What's going on YouTube? This is John from the Unhinged Zombie Hunter Clan, bringing you another up-to-date version of my Resignation of Darkness. I played this deck at my locals this Sunday just gone, and believe it or not, I actually beat quite a few decks with it. So, yeah, this deck is mental. Also, if you haven't already checked out my early build and my first update for it, please feel free to check them out. There will be a link in the description to check out those videos. Also, feel free to check out the crew at Zephyr War Games on their Facebook page and their YouTube channel. I will leave a link in the description down below. And let's crack on with the deck now. So, starting us off, if I move everything, starting us off with we'll start it off with the Lair of Darknesses as normal. Darkest Diablos. Still can't beat this card. Can't be kai'd. Can't be tributed by any of your opponent's card effects. And, oh my god, I didn't realise it could do this because I had this given to me by my friend Joe at Zephyr War Games, so thank you for the update. You can tribute one of your opponent's monsters and shuffle your opponent's hand or cards back into their deck, and I'm just like, bonus! Then, as always, the great Aram, the Wicked Warden. Hang on, if I spread these out a little bit easier. Aram, by now, you should know what it does. It searches you out your Lair of Darkness. It can help you get a draw card by tributing one monster on the field, whether it be yours or your opponent's. And it can help you search out a 2,000 defender, a 2,000 attack point, a 2,000 defense points monster. So, extra bonus. Then, of course, the lovely Lilith, Lady of Lament. And as I've always said, when in doubt, if you need to get trap cards to your hand, if they're normal ones, Lilith here can tribute off any dark monster, and you can add 3 normal traps to your hand. Your opponent has to randomly choose one. That card is that randomly chosen one is then set face down. Sorry if I'm out of breath. And the other 2 are then shuffled back into your deck. And now we're moving on to the Resonators. So, the biggest Resonators of them all. Red Resonator at 3 people. Always got to play this card. It helps with your plays. If you summon this monster, you can summon either Aram or Lilith to your field in just no problems. And with Lilith, if she's normal summoned to the field, her attack points must be reduced to 1,000. So, yeah, with Red Resonator, that's a big bonus because you can keep her attack points at 2k. So, yeah. Red Resonator is a key card in this deck, along with 2 Dark Resonators. I'm sorry if the field's a little, the camera angle's a little awkward. I'm just having to move a lot of things around. I'll get to that in a minute. Dark Resonator helps with your plays as well. It can tune a level 4 or 3. So if I use this card with Lilith, I get a level 6 monster like Red Wyvern. If I use it with Aram, the Wicked Warden, I get level 7 Clearwing or Black Rose Dragon. Key cards in this deck, people. Key cards. The next are the Resonators. Well, the best Resonators, because if you control a synchro, excuse me, if you control a synchro monster, you can summon this card, special summon this card, and that is Synchron Resonator. So yeah, Synchron Resonator, and when it's sent to the graveyard for a synchro summon, if you've got a Resonator in your deck, get this. You can get one of them back. You can get a Resonator, whether it be Red Resonator or Dark Resonator or a Synchron Resonator himself, out of your graveyard, back into your hand. And then for the last of the Resonators, I do run the 1 Flare Resonator. Now, I did a little research on this card. Yes, it only buffs up Synchro Monster's attack points by 300. So I really did not know that was a thing. So in my earlier videos, if you hear me say defense, just ignore it. It's attack points with Synchros. And then for the last of the red, where are they? For the last of the red monsters, I do run, if I can get to them, 3 copies of Red Warg. Key staple in this deck, because this helps go into either your if you've got a Red Resonator on your field, and you've got this card, you can halve this card's attack points when you normal summon a Resonator. So, for example, you summon Red Resonator, half his attack points to 400, and you still get an extra summon. Toon level 2 red resonator with level 6 red wire. You can either go into a Bills of the Diabolic Dragons, a Scarlet Red Dragon Archchain, a Red Dragon Archchain, or a Hot Red Dragon Archchain. So in a way, busted plays all around. And then for the last of the monsters, I do run the 1 Chaos Mega Monarch. And the last 3, I do run 3 Dark Shield Guards. No, that's not their actual name. I'm just calling them the Dark Shield Guards. These cards will seriously help with your biggest plays. If you have Full Force Virus set on the field face down, and you've got him summoned in defense mode, and you tribute him off, your opponent is snookered, because they can't use every monster that's affected by Full Force Virus with the trap when it's activated. For 3 turns, you tribute him off, they cannot do anything about it. It is a pure thing. Right, that is it for the monster lineup. Moving on to the spells. The key field spell of the deck, the Lair of Darkness, people. This card, oh my god. I actually pulled off some busted plays with this deck when I was at my locals this Sunday. So yeah, a lot of people got seriously miffed. I won 3 rounds, but I lost against Infernoids and Cybers, so I'm still working on that ratio with the Cybers, but I did beat Gokis. That is a thing now. This deck can counter Gokis. No joke, no questions asked. Moving on to the rest of the spells, I do run the 3 Resonator calls. Key cards in this deck to search out your if you had this card in your hand, search out your red resonator, or your dark, or your synchron resonator, or your flare resonator. Helps this deck out. For the next part of the draw engine, I do run the 1 reasoning, like I said in my earlier videos. Reasoning, you guess your opponent has to guess a monster level between 1 to 12. If they guess it right, it goes to the graveyard. If they guess it wrong, you get that card to the field. It's a bloody busted play. So, yeah, and for the next part of the spell lineup, I do run the 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, like I said in my earlier videos. I also do run the 2 copies of Reoccurring Nightmare. Now, if you don't know what Reoccurring Nightmare, which are to you beginning duelists out there, Reoccurring Nightmare targets 2 monsters in your graveyard with 0 defense points, and you get them added back to your hand. So for any of you who didn't know that, that's what this card does. And then I also run the 1 Terraforming staple. If Aram gets Ash Blossomed, I have to use Terraforming to get my Lair of Darkness to the field instantly. And then for the very last of the spell lineup, which is the last of the draw engine, I do run the 3 copies, like I said in all my earlier builds, of a Lair of Darkness. Draw 2, must ditch 1 dark. That works well in combination with Chaos the Mega Monarch, and it also works in combination with Dark Resonator, because if you don't want them and you've got a bit of a dead hand, ditch either Chaos the Mega Monarch or Dark Resonator, you can still get 2 cards to your hand when you draw. Right, moving on to the trap lineup, I do run the 2, this was the 2 new viruses I added, the Crush Card Virus. What I found with this card is if I have a Resonator on the field, like Red Resonator or a Flare Resonator, or Lilith when her attack points when she's normal summoned and her attack power is cut in half to 1000, this card will seriously just stop your opponent from doing anything else. He has to get rid of monsters with 1500 or more attack points for 3 whole turns. There is no question about it, folks. Crush Card Virus is still a key card with this deck. After that, the 2 Full Force Viruses. Now, like I said, with Dark Shield Guard, if you tribute a monster with 2000 defense points, for 3 turns, your opponent has to discard all monsters that have defense that are higher, that are 2000 or higher defense, or 2000 or lower defense or higher. So yeah, best card for the deck. And then, of course, the 3 copies of the Deck Devastation. This card seriously screwed a lot of players over this time. Deck Devastation, if you tribute a monster with 2000 attack points, your opponents then must get rid of monsters with 1500 or less attack. So in a way, it just screws them over even more. And for the last of the traps, the 1 card that saw me through with everyone else, the Grinning Graves and the Eradicator Virus. That is the viruses. Grinning Grey will screw your opponent over because he can't activate any card effects on his next turn. Eradicator wipes out spells or traps. Konami, if you're still listening to this video, please up the bloody Eradicator virus tattoo! Or 3! I need them! Right, that's the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck before I go mental. I now run, for the new updates for my extra deck, the 2 copies of High Speed Roy Chambara. Now, I did ask myself, does Chambara really work well with this deck? That was a note I actually wanted to say to myself, because if I summon Synchron Resonator, and I've got Aram on the field, that's an instant level 5 Synchro High Speed Roy Chambara right there. And with Lair of Darkness, it's a Dark type. Easy enough to tribute off, because it's got 2,000 attack points. But this card's special ability is when it attacks once, it gets to attack again, but its attack points are doubled by, if I can remind myself, by 200 attack points. So it increases its attack points. So if this got to a 2500 B stick, use Eradicator Vice, your opponent is snookered without using spells or traps. And then the next part of my extra deck, the level 6 Goyo Guardian. Actually, no. Goyo Guardian was going to be a staple in this deck, but he's going to be coming out very soon because apparently now he needs an Earth attribute tuner monster to get. So yeah, he'll be going out soon. The next one is the lovely, Black Rose Dragon. I got this at my locals from a couple of my friends. Black Rose Dragon, biggest nuke on the field. I can nuke my entire board. That doesn't just include monsters, it includes spells and traps. And then the next for the dragons, the Clearwing Synchro Dragon. So yeah, that's my 2 level 7s. I don't know if I've got my other level 6 somewhere. Hang on a second, folks. Oh, here it is. And the next part, and the last of the level 6s, is the one and only Red Warg. This card is seriously one to disrupt your opponent's plays. If your opponent summons a monster with higher attack than this card, he blows it up instantly, and that's during either player's turn. Clearwing will just disrupt level 5s from doing any combos. Black Rose is just a nuke. That's it for the lower lineup. Now for the level 8s. I do run the 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Yes, you hear this right. I do run Crystal Wing. If it's turned into a Dark type, I can use Grinning Grave on it. Oh my god, there will be some busted plays with that. I also still run the 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. I also now run, not just 2, I run 3 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiends now. So that is really a key staple with this deck. And I also run the 1 original Red Dragon Archfiend. So yeah, the original Red Dragon Archfiend has become part of this deck. And for the last of the dragons, the build of the Diabolic Dragons. And yeah, this deck, oh my god, it's busted as hell. There is no way anyone can best this. There is a flaw in it though. It does rely so much on the field spell and the back row. But I'm working on countering that soon. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked the video. Please remember to subscribe if you're new. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll catch you all later. Also, feel free to check out the crew at Zephyr Wargames. I will leave a link to their Facebook and their YouTube channel in the description down below. And just remember, folks, keep dueling and enter the friends. Goodbye.